All right, up next we have Scorpio rising and sun. This Aquarius new moon that's happening on February 9th is taking place in your fourth house. And that's where you're going to have your new beginning. So in this area of your finances, in this area of your home, your emotional stability, emotional processing, your family life, the people that you live with, your roots, that's where you're having this new beginning happen. However, this is making a square to Uranus in the seventh. So in order for this new beginning to happen, you are having to make some changes within your current relationships. So for some of you, this could look like things happening within your relationships with the people that you're living with, for example. This could look like the way that you are with your roommates, with your family, needing to change. This could look like, it's crazy. I don't want to give away personal information, but I know somebody with Scorpio energy, and they just went through a breakup and their partner moved out. So that's an example of this. And that doesn't have to be so literal every time. This is obviously going to depend on where it hits in your chart. But there's just some energy around your current relationship dynamics, how you're showing up to those are needing to shift. There needs to be an update or more freedom, more independence, more spaciousness in those dynamics with other people, more authenticity, more truth, things that were hidden need to be revealed. It's like being quite honest and adjusting accordingly within your relationships or within your contracts within a work as well. Having some kind of change happening there in order to create a more solid foundation for your future, in order for your home life to be more peaceful, in order for your emotional life to be more sound. All of these things that are changing and shifting either in contracts or relationships are going to ensure that this foundation for your future is, again, very, very solid, that your home, your family life, your financial life, all are built upon, again, a strong foundation. If there wasn't something working, it's going to be clear at this new moon what needs to shift. However, where the ruler of this moon, which is Saturn, does show where we have some insecurities happening and some comparisons, some feeling of doubt or some feeling of shame, uncertainty. And this is for you guys in the area of the fifth house. So the fifth house is where, and this is also opposite, Saturn is also opposite Black Moon Lilith in the 11th house. So there's definitely some energy around maybe like the social element of things. Yeah, interesting. The social element, because the 5th, 11th house axis is very much people, social oriented, friends oriented. And that's one of the first cards that I picked out was like the 3 of Cups, which is a card of friendship and a connection. So there might be something in this area of your life that you are worried about as a result of some of these changes. So maybe there's something in your friend group that's going to undergo a change based off of this. Or maybe you are worried that the way your dynamics with people in your life shifting is going to alter your social calendar, alter the way that you show up in relationships. And it could feel a little bit scary. It could feel a little bit unnerving. Maybe you feel more, I don't know, more alone. I pulled this liberation, unrestrained, and freedom card. So again, I'm really getting that sense that you guys are having more freedom and spaciousness within your relationships, or something in a or many relationships is needing to undergo a change. And this freedom card to me is saying that you might have a lot of spaciousness from those people. Maybe you feel a little bit more alone, or maybe you feel like, again, like, oh, worried about maybe I'm not going to be around enough people, or maybe things, just like maybe, you can even take a little bit of a confidence hit sometimes. The 5th house is where we feel proud to be who we are. We understand what we bring to the table. We are excited to meet other people and share our gifts and show off and own ourselves. But there's something about this where I feel like that could make you experience a little doubt, because it's like, oh, I have all this freedom. Oh, I have all this spaciousness. Oh, this thing didn't go well in my relationship, so I'm not even around them anymore. Is something wrong with me? Maybe I shouldn't express that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I shouldn't do that. There's a lot of like self-monitoring. It feels like less natural. Sometimes also the 5th house can represent where we're supposed to experience spontaneous joy and pleasure. And Saturn in the fifth house can kind of restrain that and make us feel like life is more work, or life is duller, or things are harder. And so sometimes there's a little bit of that feeling. So that's something that's definitely just important to be aware of. Not to let that get you down, though, because I really feel like you are in this process of transforming the way that you're showing up to relationships. So there's always going to be these weird kind of growth edges that we're going through, these growth spurts where you are transitioning into a new relationship cycle, a new cycle of feeling more emotionally secure, feeling more stable. But in that transition, we often experience a lot of doubt and uncertainty in ourselves or our situation. And that's normal. That doesn't mean anything is going wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. It's okay to have that uncertainty. It's okay to feel at times a little bit down. So I also pulled the Queen of Swords in reverse, the Five of Swords upright, and the Knight of Pentacles. It's interesting because the Knight of Pentacles keeps coming up a lot for people. And I also see for you guys, one of the areas where you're supposed to be taking consistent action right now is with Mars being in your third house. So third house, communication, being very direct. And that's something I'm seeing with this Queen of Swords being in reverse. There may be ways with this Queen of Swords in reverse where, again, you might have some more like solitude. That's really the vibe I'm getting, is that you guys maybe are going from being around people to now having a lot of freedom and being alone a little bit more. I'm looking up the reverse. I love reading the reversals in this book, the tarot reversals. One of my clients gave this to me, so thank you. And yeah, it's just very helpful. It's talking about, okay, I think there's a lot of things that this can be, but one of the things that we have to be aware of is being overly critical of either ourselves or others. I think that sometimes your mind can get the better of you. And here with Mars being in your third house, there is a need for you to have control over your mind, because that's where the consistent action needs to take place. So the consistent action is staying busy. That's honestly important here. Making sure that you're getting your ish done, the things that you need to get done. Not running from your problems, but making sure that you're not like letting your life go to shit because you're experiencing whatever you're experiencing. There's a lot of like a need to create stability. That's such a strong message here with this new moon being in your fourth house. So the third house is, what activities do I need to do to create stability? But also, what is my mind? How do I need to clear and gain control and willpower over my mind for that to be something that is manifesting stability from the inside out? As well as with the Queen of Swords being in reverse, being quite truthful with people, and being direct with people, because sometimes deception or saying things that people want to hear can happen when we're not accessing this Queen of Swords. And it's also talking about narrow-mindedness. We could get stuck in negative thinking. We could get stuck in spite and vengefulness with this Queen of Swords in reverse. So if there is some dynamic shifting in relationships, you want to be aware of those feelings. And as a Scorpio, you tend to hold on a little bit to those feelings. So we really need to be mindful of letting those go, so that we can truly have a stable foundation within our emotions, our home, and our finances. So if you're holding on to this negative energy, that's not going to happen. I also pulled the Five of Swords, which is an energy of combativeness, of getting into fights, feeling a little bit stressed or overwhelmed with maybe being really busy or with the situation at hand. There can just be an energy of internal or external conflict. And so again, with this Mars energy, we want to get in control with our willpower over our mind so that this doesn't take hold, so we can be direct and honest and truthful, but not say something mean and just hurt somebody, or not use that voice against ourselves and not and be overly critical of ourselves. So there's this need to ease that conflict. And it's almost like we're easing the conflict through work, with this Knight of Pentacles, through saving money, through showing up every day to exercise, go to your job, work hard on projects that are not just meaningful, but also substantial, things that can last the test of time, things that are saving up money for the future, thinking about creating that security for yourself. It's like, what are the practical little things that we can do every day that we can stay focused on to channel that maybe difficult energy into, to build up this future foundation for yourself. And so that's where this energy needs to go. You have Jupiter and Taurus in the 7th house, sextiling Saturn in the 5th. So your relationships are really going to be an area of big growth for you this year, and a possible area of having some beautiful blessings and new beginnings. So make sure that you stay kind of along the path of building yourself up in your confidence, of finding things that bring you joy, practicing hobbies, and developing skills that make you a more interesting and well-rounded person, that also are things that you really actually enjoy, that are not just things that are good on paper or are good for the, because society says like, oh, that's a good thing to have or to do. These are things that you truly align with or resonate with. And so the more that you can pursue those activities and build yourself up as a person, it will build your confidence, and your relationships will align and attract the right kind of people in your life, and you can have some really beautiful blessings there. So overall, that's what I'm seeing for you. This is a time to create that security, both within your home, emotions, and finances, and eventually it will lead to you building yourself up as a person and your relationships also as a result of this. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Scorpio. Before you head off, I wanted to let you know I'm changing my channel name to Cosmic Clarity Astrology. So if you don't want to miss a video, then definitely subscribe to my email list down below. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment down below if it resonates, subscribe, share with your friends, and have a nice day. Bye.